Along the ancient yellow riverbanks, many tales have been passed down through generations, but none chill the bones quite like the legend of the River Bride. What is this River Bride? Since ancient times, when floods plagued the Yellow River, people on both banks would sacrifice to the River King. During great floods, river masters would throw cattle and sheep into the torrents, begging the River King's mercy. Yet in some backward regions, they believed the River King required more, a virgin girl, along with the usual sacrifices of livestock and children. This maiden, known as the River Bride, had to be a pure unwed girl of striking beauty and robust health, skilled in singing folk melodies to amuse the River King, lest his foul moods stir catastrophic floods. Once chosen, the River Bride would be wrapped in silk soaked with fragrant sesame oil. At a specially constructed altar by the river's mouth, she'd be cast into the churning waters as offering to the River King. Imagine such a fair young maiden thrown without cause into the Yellow River's depths. Could any soul harbor anything less than bitter resentment? Thus, by the sacrificial altar, many claim to have seen girls frolicking in the waters, or heard plaintive folk tunes drifting through midnight air. During moonless storms, the haunting phenomena grow so terrifying that households bar doors and shutter windows, none daring pass the site after dark. Yet despite precautions, drownings persist. Victims surface with contorted faces, fingernails clogged with river silt, wearing ghastly grins. An elder I met during travels revealed the true horror. The River Bride legend isn't mere folklore, but something she witnessed in her youth. One year brought 3 months of drought when the Yellow River ran dry. Then, on a sweltering night, torrential rains erupted. The parched riverbeds swelled overnight, raging currents sweeping down rotted corpses, decaying coffins, and bloated cattle carcasses. Finally came a coffin black as ink. This funerary box bore blood-red lines across its jet surface, adorned with vermilion tadpole-like symbols. The crimson against black created an unnerving spectacle. Those knowledgeable paled. This was a River Bride's coffin, they whispered. Such pitch-black caskets were specially crafted for the sacrifices, the symbols meant to suppress corpse transformation. Recalling the River Bride legend, the villagers urgently sought an elderly Taoist priest. After hearing his exorcism method, water belongs to yin evil. Mix vermilion sand with soil, scatter it in the coffin, then burn it all. But beware rain during the ritual. Should water touch it, the coffin will become unstoppable. At the third rooster's crow next dawn, villagers arrived at the riverbank with hoes and sickles. Though black as bedrock and heavy as a mountain, they lifted the coffin through combined effort, dragging it ashore. As the old Taoist priest intoned a long chant to open the coffin, laborers pried out the coffin nails. Inserting crowbars, they heaved until the massive lid cracked open with a groan. When villagers peered inside, all color drained from their faces. Struck dumb with terror, not a soul could speak. Within the split coffin lay a female corpse with rosy cheeks, dressed in vibrant floral cloth, appearing as if merely asleep. This unnatural sight froze the crowd. Had zombies emerged, or river demons appeared, they might have charged with farm tools, ready to slay even the Dragon King himself. But this serene corpse terrified them beyond reason. The crowd instinctively retreated, teetering on the brink of panicked flight. The Taoist priest, previously observing with hands clasped behind his back, hurriedly coughed and approached. rapping the coffin with his fingernails. His face darkened. A soul-summoning coffin cast in pig iron, a living corpse centuries old. This evil has fully transformed into a demon, he murmured. In a thunderous voice, he warned the crowd. Fellow villagers, this river bride has used this coffin to absorb essence from Yellow River corpses, becoming a full-fledged demon. Now that you've provoked it, none shall survive tonight unless we eradicate it completely. His words struck like temple bells. Though legs turned to jelly, none dared flee. All pledged obedience. The Taoist priest calculated with his fingers, first dismissing women, children, and elders. Those with water-associated zodiac signs, dragon, snake, ox, were ordered away. Remaining villagers faced the sun while inspecting each other's lips and chins. Any showing bluish-black hues were expelled. As such, water signs beneath the nose indicated vulnerability to drowning. Finally, the Taoist priest ordered villagers to slaughter a black dog and several red roosters on the riverbank. They first splashed the black dog's blood into the coffin, then poured 7 bowls of rooster blood at 7 key points around the dark casket. Workers then spread a layer of vermilion mixed dry sand inside before stacking kindling for the pyre. As flames roared and firewood crackled, all present clearly heard heart-rending screams from the inferno, like a woman desperately thrashing in the flames. Though under blazing sunlight, cold sweat drenched every villager's back. The fire burned for 3 full days, sustained by constant additions of lard during a brief drizzle. When ashes cooled, the Taoist priest led villagers to inspect the site. The charred coffin remained intact, its interior reduced to charcoal. Deep claw marks scored the inner walls, revealing the coffin's true horror. Only the Taoist noticed something amiss. Staring at the Yellow River's currents, he sighed deeply. A portion of the coffin's base was missing. The river bride had escaped into the waters during the rain. Once merged with the river, her powers became unfathomable. He gazed at the churning waters in silence. Next morning, villagers found him seated in eternal meditation atop the black coffin. His blood-written testament instructed them to sink his corpse into the Yellow River and saw off the 8 trigram symbol he'd carved on the coffin, sealing it onto the ancestral ferryboat to ensure protection. Examination revealed a palm-sized crimson 8 trigrams diagram etched 3 inches deep into the coffin's surface. Legend claims the Taoist priest had imprinted it with heart's blood from his very life essence. The pattern remained vibrantly red, never fading. The elder recounted glimpsing the Taoist priest's corpse, shriveled like ancient mummified remains, as if some force had drained his flesh overnight. Rumors spread that he'd struck a secret pact with the river bride, using his vital essence to resolve her karmic grievances. So long as the sunken coffin fragment drifted in the Yellow River, the River Corpse King could never emerge to haunt the living. Yet the demonic entity never anticipated the Taoist priest's final act, sealing his last drop of heart blood into the iron coffin fragment aboard the ghost ship. This spectral vessel would forever roam the Yellow River's currents, eternally binding the River Corpse King beneath the waves.